Oh, you guys are in Virginia, right?
Yes.
How's the weather in Virginia?
Oh, it's a bit good today.
Yeah, my grandparents live in Virginia and they love the fall weather there.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Are your children in Virginia as well? Are your children in Virginia as well?
No, they live in the other state, in New York
Oh.
and then Georgia.
Oh, okay. And how many children do you have
So
again?
just only us at home.
How many children do you have again?
They can please?
How many children do you have?
Three.
Three children. And do they all, you said they all live in New York?
They live one in New York, one in Georgia, and one, at home.
Okay. And do you guys want to just introduce yourselves to us again, just for the recording, because this might go up in the Historical Society?
Okay. My name, is Vandu, and my wife is Kim Du.
Hi. Okay, so I think we're just gonna get the Skype session started and the interview started because it took us a little while to figure out the sound and everything. This is Amanda. She's my partner for the sociology project.
Hi,
Hi.
And she's gonna start asking you guys some questions about your experiences. Okay.
Okay. So, can you hear me? You're good?
Yes.
Okay. So can you describe your experiences during the war while you were still in Vietnam?
This way, what? I can hear you.
Can you describe your experiences during the war while you were still in Vietnam?
Oh, that's terrible. I don't know what to say, I don't know if you watch a movie, a movie, Dr. Zhivago.
Dr. Evil?
No, Dr. Zhivago,
Oh,
the movie long
Zhivago.
time ago.
Dr. Shivago?
Yeah.
About Russia?
Did you watch the movie?
Yes, I've seen the movie.
I haven't.
I've seen the movie. Was it similar to that movie? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
In what ways?
In the way, they come in and they took over, the government, and they kicked people out from their house. Depend upon, they say they accused, my. Hello.
Hi.
Sorry if this topic is difficult. We apologize.
He just emotional. Remember the thing you asked about, like when the communists come and they took over his parents' house, and they took his parents put in the prison, and all the family, the men, have go to prison. My husband go in army, go to prison too, and the women, they just put in like they call new economic area for people food over there. Really, it's hard to understand because the communists before they're different from the communists right now. Right now, you see they're more open, right? But before, they very strict.
Okay.
And
Yes. They say when they come in, they change everything, and that hard to say because the education level of the north and the VC, different from what we had, in the south. They sometimes, they
they didn't have a good education. They just listened to propaganda from the law. Mm-hmm. And when they took over, they thought, they can, everybody, will be equal. Okay? And, they took over everything. Just like...
Take your time, it's fine.
His family, his parents and his brother, the communist government had them, they put in prison because exactly they are capitalists, they have money, like that. And most of the women, they put in different areas. So it's hard. It's hard. I don't think I don't know you understand or not, but it's difficult. It's difficult. My parents-in-law, they about over 70 something, but they have stayed in prison for more than 2 years. The reason, because they have money. That's the reason. We gave you capitalist. And my husband was in army, and he was in prison too because he worked for the Saigon government.
Okay.
And that's why it's for the economic very difficult because we don't have money anymore. We don't have a house to live. They take over everything. So just say that that's been very, very difficult for us.
Yeah. We are very grateful for the time you guys are giving us and to opening up to us about this because we don't understand obviously what you went through, but we understand that it's really difficult to talk about and we definitely appreciate it. So what it sounds like is that your family was split up during the war when you were in Vietnam and the community was very divided. And that's what I understand from why it's similar to Dr. Zhivago. I remember that the communities that were once so united were immediately split up. And I can understand how that would be amazingly difficult to go through. And we can ask you the question that might be easier is why you settled or were resettled in Carlisle. Pennsylvania. What made you go there? Was there family? Was that someplace that the United States government put you? So if you could just tell us a little bit about how you ended up in Carlisle.
Okay. When we got out of Vietnam, we really didn't know where we would go. Okay, and then. And then, because, I was in the army,
Mm-hmm.
so I was eligible to go to U.S. And then because, my cousin, I have one cousin, in Carlisle, and that's what, she looked for, a teacher to sponsor us. So that's why, we came to Carlisle.
So did an organization in Carlisle give you aid? Is that, you said you were sponsored, or were you sponsored by your cousin?
No, sponsored by the church, I speak for church in Carlisle.
Oh, the church?
Yes.
Which church?
St. John Church.
And can you describe to us your experience working with them and how they helped you settle into life in Carlisle? Can you explain to us some things that they did for you?
Oh, that when we came, I remember, the apartment is ready. So, for teacher, everything ready. So we just moved in.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So,
very nice, yes.
That's nice.
so they found a place for you to live?
Yes, they found, apartment and furniture, everything ready.
Did you have children at that time?
But
Did you have children at that time?
Or did you have children after?
You said children?
Yes.
Did you have children when you were either in Vietnam, or did you have them after you resettled in Carlisle?
now we have, two children in Vietnam and one, born in refugee camp.
And how was their experience resettling in Carlisle with school and with learning English?
Oh yes, when my son, was 5 years old, and my daughter, 4 years old, and the youngest one is just six months. Okay, so when they, and then luckily, we came to Carlisle, in May 1980, and school started, September. So my son, he went to kindergarten right away. So yes, he had a little bit problem, just I think just first few months, and after that one, he seemed everything normal.
Mm-hmm. And was it could you tell that it was easier for them to learn English because they were younger?
Oh yeah, very
Yeah.
easy, particularly children. First of all, when we left Vietnam, we concerned about children. But then, now I understand children, they cope, with environment very quickly, easily.
Mm-hmm. And in contrast with your adaptation to a new way of life in the United States, like how was that for you guys? Can you describe your experiences, how it felt to enter Carlisle and be in a new community?
Really, because I live, in Saigon capital, and I was familiar with material thing, and then when I came to U.S., that normal to me, the way I live, then probably, less than what I had before. So to me, that's not a big deal, to cope with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Did you find a job easily when you got to the United States, to Carlisle?
No.
No.
During that time, it was difficult to find a job, and the job, tried to help me to find a job. We couldn't find either, and then I tried to find a job at McDonald's. I didn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the language barrier was a big problem? The fact that you English wasn't your first language, was that a problem with finding it?
Yes, that's a problem. But although I learned English, in high school, my second foreign language, my primary foreign language, the French, and secondary language, the English. And then I also learned English, in college. But then, when I came here, that different. But I picked it up, quickly.
Mm-hmm. Kim, did you work?
Pardon?
Did Kim work when she first got here?
No.
No.
She couldn't work either.
Okay.
So, the thing, because I couldn't find work, and luckily, I have a friend who studied in the same college with me, and he came before us. He came in 1975.
Okay.
I came in 1980. So he told me, okay, while waiting, I need to go back to college. Okay, so that's why he signed up for me community college in Harrisburg.
Oh, he went to community
so
college?
That's why I went back to school.
Oh, you went back to school.
In Harrisburg.
Oh, okay.
Oh, in Harrisburg. Okay.
So you were raising kids and going to community college at the same time?
Yes.
How was?
When I went to college, and then I had a job with UPS.
Oh, okay.
Very easy, because work study somehow in college, easy to find job than from outside.
Mhm.
So I found a job with the UPS. I just work part time.
Did you like that job?
And my wife, and live with children, but we received, the public assistance during that time.
Mhm. Mhm. Did you like your job with UPS? Did you enjoy that job?
Pardon?
Did you enjoy your job with UPS?
Yes, I don't enjoy it, but just you need to work for a living, do whatever we can, to support the family to get by,
So how long did you work for UPS, or did you work for them for a while?
Yeah, I just worked for about 6 months or something, and then I moved to I studied at a community college just about a year, and then I transferred to Shippensburg University. Okay, to continue to study, and then I work study at the university in the library, and my wife, while she received, the public assistance, she also worked some, extra job, clean up house, for friends, whoever, need help.
What were you studying at community college?
Oh, I study, computer. But really, when I went to community college, my goal, just learn English, try to find a job. But then, when I went to community college to receive, the parent, so I had to study full time.
Oh, okay. So you couldn't work anymore?
I don't know if you know, but when you go to college, you need to apply rent, right? And the same thing for my children lately, whether or not you have money or whatever, you need to apply rent first. And if you're not qualified, you do something else. So to qualify for rent, I need to study full time. That means 12 credits. Just 4 classes, right? So I study English as second language, and then and I study math, and computer, and and for the first semester, very difficult because you just went to a class and we talk English, and at that time my English very limited. So the whole thing, I didn't understand much, about computer. But I went home and then, I tried to translate page by page, try to understand, the course. And it's hard.
No, yeah. Did it help you get a job later on, the math and computer sciences?
No, not yet. During that time, I met, another Vietnamese student, and then he introduced me to Shippensburg. and then I studied at Carlisle for a year, and at a community college in Harrisburg. Hack, HACC, Harrisburg Area Community College.
Yeah, that's close by. Yeah.
Yes. And then I transferred to Shippensburg, Shippensburg University, right? Just south from Carlisle. Okay, and when I went there, I met the director of admission. Okay, and I said, I wanted to study, for the bachelor degree. And he said, and he looked at my record and said, hey, you have, a bachelor degree already. So, so he let me have unclassified. I don't know if you know anything about that one. Unclassified students status.
No.
He told me, okay, I let you continue, with a master degree, not a bachelor degree.
Oh, wow.
And I let you try, for one semester, right? And to study for a master degree, in computer science. Yes, although I was in, as a master candidate, but then I need to finish, prerequisite. So it's hard, that prerequisite, you in college, and then you have to meet your requirement, first year level 100, 200, 300, and then, level 400. After that one, you take level, 500. That means, the master degree.
So did you end up getting your master's degree? Did you end up getting the master's degree?
Yes.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah.
Did your kids go to college? Did your children go to college?
Oh, yes. Oh, then, finish college, yes.
That's amazing. Where did your kids go, and what do they do in school?
I spent 4 years, at Shippensburg, 3 years at Shippensburg University, and then I graduated with master degree, in computer science. And during that time, my wife also, went back to college. She did the same thing like I did. Okay, she went to high school community, and then she transferred to Shippensburg. And because she had, she had a bachelor degree in Vietnam, like me. So finally, she also finished, master degree in Shippensburg.
Awesome. Okay. Do you want to ask what children are?
What else about children?
Well, I was just asking before where your children went to college.
And what they do now?
I have, one daughter, who live in New York City, and she went to Cornell.
It's a great school.
Yeah.
So with your kids going on to continuing education like college, do you believe that they gained opportunities once you moved to the United States that they might not have gotten in the Vietnam that existed after the war?
Okay, yes, that's the main reason, we left it now. Because, with my children of just like for me, because I Army military. So my children, cannot during that time. It's hard for them, to get job or whatever because as a parent, I work for the South Vietnam. The same thing right now, for children. Okay, in Vietnam, if they don't join, Communist Party, they cannot get further, in
Education.
In the government or everywhere.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that if you did stay in Vietnam, none of your kids could have gone to college or gotten good jobs because you
No,
were
I don't think so. At my children, because I have some my nieces and nephew. Okay, when the communists took over, they were around 10 to 18. Okay, and they couldn't go to college, at that time. So almost, all of my cousins and all of my nieces and nephews, they stopped going to school, after that time.
So do you still have family in Vietnam now?
Yes, I still have some, but the majority, they moved to U.S. and Canada.
Okay.
Where in the U.S. does your family live? The rest of your family?
My oldest brother, family live in New York, and then my one brother live in Pennsylvania, and one brother family live in Oregon, and one family live in Florida. Two families live in Florida.
Do you see your family who lives on the East Coast a lot in Pennsylvania and New York?
Oh, yeah, sometimes, yes. Probably once a year, something.
Have you been back to Vietnam since you left or to visit or?
Yes, I went back, 2 times.
2 times?
During the last 35 years or something. Yeah. And I plan to go back, next year. Yeah.
What makes you go back? Is it family that you go?
Yes, I still have, friends and family, in Vietnam.
What have your experiences been like going back? Do you see large?
In January.
But do you, like when you go back to Vietnam, do you see large differences? Do you ever feel like you wish you moved back there? What's your experience like when you do go back to Vietnam?
Oh, in Vietnam right now, the economy is better, just like China. You look at China, right? And they open, for business. So the same thing like Vietnam, they open for business. If you look at, your clothes, sometimes you see made in Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
And what does your family think who is still there? Do they ever think about coming and living with you guys over in the United States, or do they have no plans on ever leaving?
But not now.
Not now.
Because, now they can, earn a living, in Vietnam, so no reason they want to come to U.S. except, just for a visit.
Have any of your nieces or nephews who still live there ever thought of coming for education to the United States, or no?
Yes, but probably, but it depends, whether or not they can afford, to go to U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, only other family, right? You want to go to foreign country to study, you need money.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And with your daughter, who you said went to Cornell, what is she doing now in New York?
Oh, she work in Wall Street.
Oh,
Wall
wow.
Street.
She work for one of the hedge fund in New York.
Wow.
Yeah, she's doing pretty good.
And how old was she when you guys immigrated over to the United States? Does she remember anything or from?
Not much, you know.
Hmm.
Yeah, not much.
Does she remember anything about growing up in Carlisle? Like, do you know what she would think about or say about growing up in Carlisle?
Yes, she remember. Yes. She said, you know, she remember.
Mm-hmm. Did she enjoy living in Carlisle? And did she enjoy going to school? Did she go to the public schools and stuff?
Yes, yes, she went to public school. Yes, but really, you know, children they didn't know anything, you know. Right?
They were just happy.
4 or 5 years old, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't know much, and then they didn't remember much. But the better thing, you know, when probably to me. When they start to understand, I had, you know, a job already, so you know, it better for them because they live like, you know, no more children, right? You know, when my children get 4 or 5, right? I had, you know, full-time job already. So, you know, after that one, you know, we live normally, you know, because, you know, when I finished college, I worked for IBM, you know, in Carlisle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so the salary-wise, you know, a little bit better than.
Yeah. So it seems like since you worked for IBM, you kind of influenced your daughter a little bit going into finance and going into banking. Is that?
Yes, and that. Yeah, probably so. You know, because, you know, I study. You know, when they grow up 4 or 5 years old, and I study, my wife study, you know, at home. You know, we go to college and they come home, we study, and then probably they pick thing up, you know, from there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. You also said that you came to the United States mostly because of your children and for opportunities that you wanted them to have. Has the United States lived up to that? Is there anything you didn't expect that you experienced when you moved here? Is there anything you wished the government or the church that helped you out with a little bit more?
Really, you know, when we came to U.S., you know, we didn't know anything. We didn't know, you know, only social services. You know, we thought, okay, we go somewhere, we live by ourselves, not with the help of the government.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily, you know, when we came to this country, you know, a lot of social services, benefit for the poor. Yes, we take advantage of that one. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, you know, that the best, you know, the government can do. You know.
Mm-hmm. But then it seemed like you were able to give your children a normal life, like you said, once you had the job with you or IBM. You were able to allow them to live like other children were living in Carlisle, which is pretty impressive. After
yes.
moving here, yeah. Is there anything you want to ask?
So how long did you live in Carlisle, and when did you move to Virginia?
So I live in Carlisle, you know, about 8 years. You know, after my graduation, I worked for IBM for about 4 years, and then my wife, you know, graduated from Shippensburg, and she got a job, you know, in Virginia, you know, with AT&T. So I just transferred to Virginia. Okay. I also continued to work for IBM, you know, for a few more years.
So after 8 years, you moved to Virginia because your wife was able to get a job, and you stayed with IBM, you said.
Yeah.
Can you compare what it was like living in Carlisle versus Virginia? Is there one you liked more?
First thing, we recognize, living in Virginia more expensive than, living in Carlisle. Okay, but then, because I live in Fairfax County, so they have very, I am told, they have very good school, and so that's why my children picking up,
Oh, so they went to majority of school and high school in Fairfax County in Virginia?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Fairfax
okay.
County. And my daughter, she got to Thomas Jefferson School.
Is it Thomas Jefferson High School?
No, is that a private school?
No, that's a public school. But I am told, one of the best in country.
Is it something that she had to apply to?
She needs to take a test to get in.
Okay, so it's like a charter school?
Pardon?
It's like a charter school? Is it a charter school?
Charter school?
It's okay.
They call magnet school.
Oh, a magnet.
A magnet school.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, for gifted, students.
And how old was she when she entered Thomas Jefferson School?
Oh, I remember 8th or 9th grade.
8th and 9th.
No, 8th grade.
Okay. So for middle school and for high school.
Middle and high school.
That's
Middle
awesome.
and high school.
Where did the rest of your children go to school?
Oh, my children, go to, high school in Fairfax County.
Mm-hmm.
And my youngest daughter, also graduated. They did pretty good.
Yes, this sounds like they did really well.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing that from leaving somewhere you guys obviously loved so much and it being really difficult, and then watching your kids really grow and do really well because of sacrifices and choices that you made.
Yes, I think so, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily, they grow up and then they just, study hard and that's it.
Do you think that that was a motivation at all for them because of watching or hearing about what you guys went through? Was it a motivation for them to do well, or were they just always gifted?
No, that's the motivation, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because the experience in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else that you guys would like to share with us? Is there anything, Kim, that you want to share with us? Anything else you want us to know?
Okay. Do you plan to talk to my daughter, or what else do you want to ask us?
Well, let's see. We had a list of questions that we were asking you. We have a question about kind of how the government handled the large amounts of Vietnamese refugees that were entering the United States. Do you think that they had good programs to resettle Vietnamese refugees? How do you think the government handled the war? And people who had to be displaced like you all because of the war. What are your thoughts, feelings, or emotions about that?
Do you think America handled it correctly?
Say again.
It's kind of a difficult question to answer, but do you think overall that America handled the large influx of immigrants to America? Do you think they handled it correctly? If you can answer that.
Yes, I think, the government, handle, pretty good and really, more generous, with the churches and with social services, and that to us, that's very generous. And the thing, I think you go to this country, you can do whatever you want to do. You can achieve whatever you want to achieve, and I think that's correct.
Do you feel like you were given that opportunity to do whatever you wanted to do along with your children? Do you feel like you were given that opportunity to do whatever you wanted to do, like you were granted your master's degree working for IBM? Do you feel like you achieved that as well along with your children?
Yes. Really, and I don't have any problem, with employment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I understand, whatever you have a skill business need. That means you get a job.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see, discrimination, against us. And particularly, recently I look at the statistics and somehow, the Asian population, they did, pretty good, economic wise.
So you feel like friends and family who also came over from Vietnam did pretty well in the employment parts of their life, and they were able to find a job and they were able to get back up on their feet once they came to the United States?
Oh yes, majority they did very good. And if you look at I don't know if you had a chance to visit California or Washington D.C.
Mm-hmm.
The Orange County, and that's a big Vietnamese community over there, and the same thing in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the majority they did pretty good, but other immigrant, somehow you still have some bad apples, but majority, doing pretty good.
So when your wife found a job in Virginia, were you looking there because you knew people who are already in Virginia, or did it just happen to be you found a job that fit your skill?
No, she needs to take a test, and that's not the easy one, with 18, she needs to take a test, and when she passed that test, and she was in training for 3 months, and she passed, the training also, so she got a job with AT&T.
That's amazing. I think that is all the questions that we have. Those were all the questions that we had for you or prepared for you guys. Unless there's anything else you would like to share with us.
Yeah, that's it. will you talk to my daughter? Probably, she will talk, more. She will give you more information about children when she grow up.
Do you have your daughter's email? Do you want to email that to me?
I already gave you.
You gave me.
My wife said, she already gave you email.
The lady in contact with her?
Did you give me your daughter's email?
Oh, sure, yes.
Yeah, do you want to email
I
me?
forward to Megan, right?
Yes, yeah, just you can.
You, right?
Yep, you can send me your daughter's email and we'll get in touch with her.
Oh, okay. Yes. When she talk with her, she have experience as children growing up in the U.S.
Okay, perfect.
So yes.
And maybe just a last question. What are you guys doing right now? You both are retired in Virginia?
Yes, I retired, a year and a half, and my wife retired, only 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
How are you liking retired life?
Oh, very much.
Relaxing.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, we took, photography class, and we just finished, 3 years, in photography. And now, we like to travel and, just take pictures.
Where did you take your photography class?
Oh, there is a group, Vietnamese group, in Virginia. And I also joined, the PSA, Photography Society of America.
Oh, wow. And so
Yes.
you've traveled, where have you traveled to take photos recently?
Pardon?
Where have you traveled to take photos?
Oh, we travel, in many states, particularly in the West.
Oh,
We travel to Las Vegas, California, Arizona, Utah, Wyoming.
Wow.
I want to be retired.
And next year, we plan to go to Vietnam, and then we go to Australia.
Wow.
New Zealand.
That sounds amazing.
Are you going with the group or are you just going with yourselves?
We go with a group of a friends. We study in the same college in Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sometimes we get together, reunion every 2 years, and now we travel around because we have so many friends across the country.
Mm-hmm.
So we just travel and stop by to visit, and the same thing for them.
That sounds great.
And this is your third time to be back to Vietnam or your fourth? How many times have you been back to Vietnam since 1980?
Two times.
Oh, 2 times. So this will be your third time.
Yes, the third time next year.
That's awesome. And your plans are just to visit friends and family?
Pardon?
And your plan is just to visit friends and family when you go back?
Yes.
That's
Yes,
awesome.
and visit family and then visit the country because I didn't know much about the North. But the North not the communist, the communist before. So now I hope I can go and see the whole country.
Oh, that's awesome. So it's free travel throughout the whole country. There's no dividing line anymore.
No, very easy right now. I just come back and do whatever I want to do, except politics.
Yeah, stay away from politics. Exactly.
Yeah, stay away from politics. Yes.
Have your children ever been to Vietnam?
Yes. Yes.
To all of them?
All of them, at least once.
And were they old enough to remember it? Was it recently?
No, they didn't remember. They went back, when they knew now,
Mm-hmm.
because they went back during college.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, we want to thank you again for your time, and We really appreciate you guys speaking to us, and we apologize that we asked some tough questions, but we really appreciate that you answered them as well as you could, and we were really excited to talk with you guys.
Okay, you are very welcome.
And if you send your daughter's email to me, we'll be sure to get in touch with her.
Okay, sure. Yeah, she like to talk to you guys.
Okay, perfect. And what's your daughter's name?
Nhân Ái.
Okay.
Nhân Ái Du.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of your fall and rest of the year, and I hope you have a great time in Vietnam.
Okay, thank you very much.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you.